Hey guys, Per from Into Fly Fishing. In the vise today I've got a fly called the Walt's worm. This is a fly that we featured in our 10 best Euro-nymphing fly video, and it's also an excellent fly pattern for beginner fly ties. This fly tying tutorial is brought to you by Moonshine Rods Company. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check the links in the video description below to see my full hands-on look at their Vesper 3-way 10-foot 6-inch Euro-nymphing rod. It comes with an extra tip, so if you break one while you're out on the river, it won't ruin your fishing day. The tools you need to tie the Walt's worm is a vise, a bobbin holder for your thread, a pair of scissors, and a whip finishing tool. The first step is to slide a slotted tungsten bead over the hook point. Here I'm using a 3.5mm gold tungsten slotted bead, and we slide over the small side or the small hole over the hook point, and we leave the slot itself from the bead to the back. Now we transfer the bead up against the eye of the hook, and we turn it so that all the weight is on the top side of the fly. This will help the fly ride hook point up as you fish it, which results in less snags to the bottom. The hook itself is a wide gape jig hook from a company called Moonshine. This is their model 6438 in a size 16. For thread, I'm using Danville's 70 denier in fluorescent orange. Just going to secure it behind the bead. After you've secured it, you can pull off or trim off the excess. What I'm going to do now is come in with my hand and push the bead forward so that it sits in the right place. And I'm going to start building a thread dam behind the bead to keep it in place. Once it sits in place, you can start wrapping the thread back almost halfway down the shank, then come back up again, make a couple of wraps behind the bead, then wrap about 3/4 down the hook shank, come back up again, and then all the way to the bend of the hook. This will help you to create that base profile that is so important in Euro-nymphing flies. For ribbing, I'm using a thin pearlescent flash material. I'll just tie on the side of the shank with a trapping wrap, secure it all the way forward again, and then to the base of the thread foundation. Before working with the dubbing, I like to cover the thread with some loom low tack swags. This just helps us to create a nice slender dubbing noodle. For the dubbing itself, I'm using Hemingway's Hair's Dubbing Plus UV. I'm using a very light color. Take some from the dispenser. Doesn't need to be that much. You can always add more later and create a nice tapered and thin, slender dubbing noodle on the thread. Wrap the thread, and once you've secured the first wrap, just twist the dubbing again to make sure that it's wound nice and tight around the thread. Wrap the dubbing all the way forward to just behind the bead, and I'll wrap the ribbing in the same direction as the thread. This means that the thread will just pull it tighter as you secure it. Secure the ribbing or flash material with your thread and trim off the excess. Now we don't really have to create a hot spot behind the bead by making thread wraps. All that we have to do is do 2 whip finishes with your whip finishing tool. That's one. Pull the knot tight. Make another one. About a 3 or a 4 turn is more than enough. Pull the knot tight and cut off the excess. My thread just broke, but that's fine. And that's it, the completed Walt's worm. I hope that you found this fly tying tutorial helpful, and if you did, Please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications, then we can let you know as soon as we release any future tying tutorials. Until next time, cheers.